Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you, boy, I'm made different. I work too hard. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different.
Yeah.
You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people try and it ain't in pretty. I only
Yeah, let's get some shit going. Yeah. Hey, I know they did breakdowns, but ain't no breakdown like a classic breakdown, man. Yeah, ain't no breakdown like a classic breakdown. I know they did breakdowns. I know, but y'all was waiting for mine. I know. We live. We live, baby. I feel amazing. I hope y'all feel as good as me, man. We here today. We got a great live show. Let me put it up on the books for y'all, man. We got a great live show today. An amazing live show today. Woo! We got to talk about it. We doing a breakdown of the movie Sinners, man. Big breakdown of the movie Sinners. We got the question of the day coming in, and then we also got some code language conversation. You know how we do the order of operations around here, man. But before I get all the way into it, you know I need y'all to hit that subscribe button. I need y'all to hit that like button. I need you to turn on them notifications. All this stuff add up to $0.99. You know what I'm saying? 0.00, matter of fact. And then I need y'all to make sure y'all drop comments and, man, join into the chat. Let's have a conversation because we got to crack these codes, man. But without further ado, man, let's do a breakdown, bro. Let's get into it, y'all. Yes, Lord. The movie Sinners, man. I went and checked it out. Sinners. Was very attentive, wide awake, clear mind. Went and checked out Sinners. I think the movie was a good film. I'll get into my rating of it here at the end, but I'm going to do a thorough breakdown for y'all, and I'm going to really take my time with it, for sure. I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to go through just what I think of the film as an overall, right? I'm going to go into what I think about the acting in the film, the casting as well. I'm going to go into the storyline. There will be spoilers. Just letting y'all know if y'all haven't seen the film yet, there will be spoilers. So you can, if you watching this live after it's over, you could just fast forward, you know what I'm saying, to the part where we get to the question of the day or the code language conversation. You know what I mean? There will be spoilers. We're going to go into the storyline, what I think about that. Then we're going to talk about the religious aspect of it. Yeah, we're going to talk about the historical aspect of it. We're going to talk about the religious aspect of it, some of the symbolism, all of that. We're going to get into it. For sure. And then also the backstory on a couple of the characters and where the inspiration was pulled from. You know what I mean? It's a lot of history wrapped up into this one. Yes, Lord, man. Yes, Lord. Hey, drop a 333, whoever just fell in. We finna do the Sinners breakdown. Yup. Got the order of operations up on the screen for you. We got a great live show just getting warmed up. Who in here with me, man? Drop a 333. Yes, Lord. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Yeah, there will be spoilers, though. Again, there will be spoilers. So make sure, man, that you just understand, I'm finna get into it. Like, I'm really gonna talk about the film, what I thought about it, details on it, and everything. So if you have not seen the film, just be aware there will be spoilers. If you don't care, rock with me. Who in the chat, man? Who in the chat? What up? Everybody falling in. We finna get into the Sinners breakdown. So starting off, let me wet my whistle. Starting off, man. The film itself, overall, I think Sinners was a good film. It was a good film for me. It's something that I plan to catch it one more time in theaters. As a matter of fact, while it's in theaters, I'm gonna check it out one more time. It's a lot for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the rehabilitating this leg injury I got. It's a lot for me sitting in the movies for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I got to go to the one with the recliner chairs and all that. I got to do it like that. I got to get bougie just for the sake of comfort. But nevertheless, I'm definitely gonna go check it out again. It was a good film. I think Ryan Coogler, I mean, he really don't really let me down. I like the majority of his work. I don't know that I like 100% of, you know, anybody's anything. So, but he produces, he's, you know, one of my favorite directors, you know, as far as my generation and stuff like that, for sure. Writers too. He does well. So, um, one thing I could say I took away from this film and that I've taken away from maybe like one or two of Ryan's other works is sometimes I wish that they just had time. Like a lot of times when I look at the coverage and they talk about the movie and they talk about like how quickly they filmed it, you know, all things considered, relatively how quickly they film these movies and how they like getting stuff done. And I've been on sets before, just so y'all know, I'm an actor. I make music too. You know what I mean? I've been on set. I understand how they work. I understand cramming. I understand the time crunches. I get all of that. But sometimes what I take away from some of Ryan Coogler's films is like, damn, I wish they took like an extra month, or I wish they took like, you know, an extra 2 months on this film, you know, the actual shooting of the film, because I feel like it would take shit to even another level. But all in all, you know, the movie overall as a whole is something that I would say is worth going to go check out in theaters. Like some movies, I'd be like, I could wait till that, you know what I'm saying, come on a streaming platform and just rent it or whatever. Like I could wait. You feel me? But some stuff is like I want to make an effort to go watch it in theaters. I would say The Sinners is one of those movies you can go watch in theaters for sure. If I had to rate it on a 1 to 5, I'd give it like a 3.5. Like it was a really solid movie. Like, you know, when it comes out on streaming platforms, I'll press play on it and watch it again at home and shit like that. And we'll dive into more of that as this goes on. Like I said, I'm gonna take my time with this breakdown. We really gonna get into the shit. As far as the acting is concerned, um, I want to say, hey, credit to Michael B. Jordan. I know I've heard mixed reviews on people's opinions of Michael B. Jordan as an actor. Like some people say he like a mid pack, like he's super like mid with it, and then some people say he's a real talented actor. I don't really have an issue with Michael B. Jordan. I watch most of his movies. You know what I mean? I don't know too many actors that hit the mark on every scene and every monologue and everything all the time. I don't know too many actors like that. You know what I mean? So if you want to be like hypercritical, I'm sure you could come up with some critiques. But listen, in this movie, Michael B. Jordan plays a twin. He plays twins. And I'm gonna be real with you. Once the movie like started, and then I saw them as twins, or saw him playing twins, and the way that it's filmed and whatever technology they use, like I legitimately forgot that they wasn't twins. Like I wasn't looking like, oh, Michael B. Jordan doing a good job being two people. Like I lost all that as I was watching the film. I'm just like I, you know, that left my mind. It was like I was watching the twins. It was Smoke and Stack, which so to me that translates to I think he did a damn good job. You know what I'm saying? Hey, holla at me in the chat. I know y'all in here getting the breakdown. Holla at me in the chat. Drop a 333 if you with me. I want to see who in here, man. What's going on, chat? How y'all feeling? Did y'all see the movie yet? There will be spoilers, but I'm gonna do a full breakdown, man. We here. We here. I got a little bit of time. So yeah, we going over Sinners right now. That's what we breaking down. So yeah, the acting in the film, Michael B. Jordan did a great job. The young man here that plays Sammy, he did an amazing job as well. Um he had never acted before. Let me get bro name. Let me get bro name. I don't want to do him like that. Let me see. I should have had the cast and pulled up already, but we live. Let's do it. Yeah, Miles Caton. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Miles Caton. Yeah, he's an artist, but he's never acted before. I can relate to that wholeheartedly because me being somebody who got my first acting opportunity and had, you know, like a co-star role on a major show, and without any experience going and doing, you know, a good job. You know, he nailed his role as Sammy in the movie. And you know, if somebody told me he had done 3 or 4 movies before this, I would have believed him. I wouldn't have said, oh, he seemed like a novice. You know what I'm saying? He did a good job. So yeah, I think the acting in the film was cohesive. I think the casting went well. I like the dialect and the accents that they took on, because the movie was set in like Mississippi. So like the accents and the dialect that they took on for the film, they did a good job. It didn't come off as like corny or like, you know, half done. Sometimes you see people take on like accents and like they'll go in and out of the accent. It seemed very consistent. So that part of the movie, the acting and the casting, I was perfectly cool with. I thought that it was interesting that Michael B. Jordan, not Michael B. Jordan, but the character Smoke. I thought it was interesting that they made his woman like super regular. Not saying she wasn't a beautiful black woman, but I'm saying like she wasn't what your prototypical baddie is. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like, you know, somebody that depending on your taste, you may or may not look at. She not like somebody that's gonna stop the room typically, from a societal norm standpoint. They didn't give him like, you know, the Rihanna, the, you know what I'm saying, the Beyonce for a girlfriend. They gave her that, I mean, they gave him, you know, just, you know, around the way girl. I thought that was, you know what I'm saying, interesting, to say the least. I thought that was interesting. Like when they started getting intimate, I was almost thrown off for a second. Like, wait, that's his junk? You know, that's literally what I did in the theater. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? You like what you like. You know what I mean? You like what you like. But for sure, I thought that shit was dope. And then as far as the storyline, okay, the storyline of everything made a lot of sense for me, except for in the film, it wasn't spelled out well, like where the vampires came from. I seen some Easter eggs and some stuff like that, or some news articles that was dropped, like in inspiration of the movie or in connection to the film, that kind of makes sense of that, in regards to like some Irish people from like a boat that was found empty and whatever, right? Like, so I seen some nuggets, but as far as like in the movie itself, just watching the film without being a person that's gonna go to YouTube and find all the Easter eggs and the extra breakdowns and all of that, just watching the movie itself, it wasn't spelled out well, like where the vampire came from. Even in the dialogue, he kind of explains a bit about like his perspective, the vampire, I'm talking about the head vampire, but it wasn't really spelled out well, like where he came. It damn near looked like he came through like some type of portal and just like showed up sizzling hot, trying to get out the sun. It was damn near like random. You know what I mean? So, I mean, clearly he was running from somebody somewhere, you know what I'm saying, somehow, but it was just, I don't know. It was random. That part was a little off-putting. And then the fact that he was being chased down by like my people, because for y'all that don't know, you know what I'm saying, I have Native American heritage, Choctaw. He was getting chased down by my people. The Choctaws was on his ass. I thought that was, you know what I'm saying, kind of random too. Not random that you would find Native Americans in the South anywhere, but just like then you don't see anybody else really like that the rest of the film. Like the Native Americans and shit. They kind of just go off, and then it just felt random. I would like more, maybe if this movie is going to continue, because they do have it set up to where they could build off of this if they want to. Maybe they could give more of the backstory of like where that vampire came from in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because that part is not really spelled out well. Also, this movie, when you go see it, or if you haven't seen it, or if you did see it, I hope you stayed through the credits, because the movie has extra scene at the end. So if you left at the opening of the credits, you actually missed like a good 5 minutes of the movie. So you definitely got to stay through the end. If you saw it already and you didn't, I would say go see it again and stay all the way through the end, because the last scene was dope as hell. Like the conversation, everything about it was just dope as hell, and it make you think. So The storyline was cool. Like everything about the storyline I was rocking with, except for like how the vampires came into play in particular. I ain't had no problem with the vampires being there. I ain't had no problem with it being a horror movie. I didn't have no problem with it being a vampire movie. But it's just like how the vampire got introduced into the fray was just like, ta-da, like here you go. And there's some Indians chasing. Not some Indians, but some Native Americans chasing. You know what I'm saying? Just random as hell. So, but what else we got? All right, so the part that we really got to get into, the backstory. So Sammy's character in the movie, the character Sammy, the brother right here, right here, yeah, next to Michael B. Jordan. Uh Sammy's character, he's inspired by a real person named Robert Johnson, who allegedly his story is that, you know what I'm saying, he had made a deal with the devil in exchange for like extraordinary musical talent or whatever. So that is that character was centered around actually a real person. Now I saw Ryan Coogler explaining that it wasn't a deal with the devil, it was a deal with an African deity that like stands at the crossroads and like guards the crossroads into like what you would call heaven or the gates of the afterlife or whatever. And he made a deal with that deity, and he say that spirit is not actually demonic in any way. It's just more so of a just a deity. You know what I mean? It's not in a negative sense. So that's what I wanted to get into, right? So after talking about the movie, in the movie, there's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of like artistic, like there's a scene where like they kind of do like a time lapse musically and like introduce like different type of characters into the scene that show like all different types of the ways music has been, you know, transformed and evolved through like all of our culture, like all of the copper colored people in Black culture, like from Asian culture to, you know, to Black American culture, to African culture, you know, back to when we was doing funk, electric, like all of this stuff is fused into this like super artistic scene. But even in there, you have some people with like costumes and stuff on. And it's like, you know, if you don't know any better, you think it was something like spiritually wrong. I seen a lot of people posting like they left the movie early because it wasn't sitting well with their spirit and it seemed like demonic and like different things. I saw a lot of different takes like that. All I could say is that there's an abundance of people who don't do the history on ancient religions and religions that predate when Christianity was introduced to us as brown people in the West through slavery. So if you don't do any study of that, like if you like say you spend your whole life just being devout Christian, nothing wrong with that. But it just means that if you haven't spent any time studying nothing else or paying attention to nothing else or acknowledging anything else, then it leaves you in a position where you have a level of ignorance to other things outside of what you know. Right. So a lot of times we mistake demonic stuff and it really be like tribal African stuff. It's not demonic at all. It be tribal and it be African, but because we don't study the different tribes or different cultures or ancient religions at all to have any understanding of what people believed in prior to believing in Jesus, you know, all the other, you know, 280,000 years we was here prior to Christianity existing. What did people believe in? A lot of people don't study any of that. So they'll think something demonic in a heartbeat if it ain't a man spread across a crucifix. You feel me? So I didn't see anything in the movie aside from things that should have been, you know, quote unquote demonic or evil. I didn't see anything symbolically introduced that made my spirit unrested. Right. Even when I saw like some of the tribal looking characters, it didn't look evil to me. It looked tribal. But maybe that's because I'm not a person who's like completely in the dark about things beyond one belief system. You feel me? So for the people who left out the movie theaters early, they just missed a good movie, essentially. That's all I could really say. The symbolism I thought at the end, which is this is all going to tie into our question of the day today too. But the symbolism at the end where they symbolize like a baptism, there's a scene where Sammy is he hits the vampire over the head with the guitar, and then the vampire grabs him up, and he's he about to kill him, and Sammy starts doing the Our Father prayer, and as he starts doing the prayer, the vampire starts to say it with him, and he starts to tell him that essentially he, a long time ago, those words brought him comfort, and those used to be his words or whatever the case it may be. And he starts like dipping his head in the water. And I think he ended up dipping them 3 times. But as I was watching the movie, I thought he was going to dip them 7 times. And if y'all read, then y'all know why I thought that. But he dipped them like 3 times, I believe. I thought I counted 3. But this is off me seeing the movie 1 time, so forgive me, right? And he's saying a lot of stuff to him in the monologue that he's saying while he's like, slowly trying to like drown Sammy essentially, or at least like make him suffer or whatever. Honestly, it seemed like a intentional mockery of the faith. That's what it seemed like. But if y'all listen to the dialogue, and I can't recite it verbatim what he was saying as he was dipping them, but if y'all listen to the dialogue, if y'all go see the film again, and I'm gonna go check it out again too, I remember the dialogue being very, very informative, because I believe that they put a lot of things in movies, like everything that we should believe is right in front of us. Everything that we actually are taught to believe is the smoke and mirrors. So they teach you to stand right in the middle of the room with the truth and acknowledge it as fiction. Essentially, they got y'all trained like this. They try to train most of the masses, the sheep. They train y'all like this. Y'all looking at me. I'm looking at the camera. Y'all looking at me. I'm not right here. Nah, I know you can see me. I know I'm talking. I know I'm looking at the camera, but I'm not right here. And most of the sheep be like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, he really not right there, G. Like, no, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. He not right there. But I'm right here. And only 10 or 15% of the population, like, what is y'all talking about? This fool right here. He right here talking to us. He looking at the camera like he said, and he right there. No, you don't get it. He not right there. That's how they got y'all trained. They got y'all literally thinking backwards. So the shit you see, the shit you could see with your eyes, you question. And the shit you can't see, you believe in with your whole heart. That's how they got us set up. And the thing, and so I can see why some people felt like, it was some demonic or evil stuff. But if it's a horror film and it's got vampires killing, there is going to be an element of evil depiction in the film. Like, that's to be expected. So if you went in the movies and you didn't feel like I'm not finna go see Exorcism of Emily Rose and not expect to see an upside down cross somewhere. Why would I think I'm not gonna see that in that type of a movie? Or like, I'm not gonna, you get what I'm saying? So I don't understand like the people who was trying to like spiritually say the movie was unsettling or unresting. I just think they just need to look further into their history and just learn about ancient religions. Like, I always ask the question, like, when I was in Bible study as a kid, I was raised in a Christian church. Now I'm not religious. I'm just a spiritual man, but I got super close ties to God. I'm just not tied to any doctrine. No particular book am I a subscriber to, but I read them. You know what I mean? But I would always ask, how old is this religion? They say about 3,500 years old. I say, okay, how old is humanity? I say like 800,000 years old. It's like, oh, okay, so this religion is an infant. What was people believing in before this? Ain't nothing wrong with asking that. You ain't questioning God by asking that. You just want to be educated. And I think the more you educate yourself, the more you'll gain an understanding of the fact that a lot of stuff that we was taught that is evil is actually just our old way of doing things, and they don't want us to go back to it. because we had real power. Just like they teach you that all types of witchcraft, all types of voodoo, all types of hoodoo, they teach you that all of that stuff is evil. There is a light and a dark side. Those things are tools. You use the tools based on your intentions. That's what would make it evil or good. So just the same way you can use them powers to curse somebody that you don't like, you can use them powers to heal somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of, it's just like learning how to be a hacker. You could be a hacker to hack in and steal people information, or you could be the type of person that's going to be a hacker that, helps people see if their system is compromised. Or you could be the person that's neutral. And if somebody pay you, you can go in and hack their system for them to show them where it's compromised. So you got white hat, black hat, gray hat. It's about your intentions, but they'll teach you that the whole craft is evil. And it's a reason for that. They don't want you to get back to knowing your power. They don't want you to be in a situation where I'm gonna go all the way off into my conscious shit. So bear with me. But they don't want it to be a situation where a police officer, wrongfully kill a young black child or unalive a young black child, and now three mothers in the community done cursed the police force. And they don't understand why officers keep, whatever happening to their families, whatever happening to the cars, they don't understand why shit going left. Can't figure it out. They done put that sauce on them. They don't want you to get back to knowing how to do that. You think they want you to tap back in and make that a normalcy across the households? Just a bunch of people that just understand sorcery. You don't got to go to the hospital. You can go to Abuela and she put that over you and you back right. They don't want you to get back to knowing that. Y'all don't want to have no deep conversation. Y'all will think I'm a conspiracy theorist because they taught y'all I ain't even right here. Look at me. I'm the truth. I ain't even right here. Like that, when you go out into nature for the first time and you see that big ass mountain, and when you a little kid, you looking at the mountain and you like, Ma, that mountain over there look like a sleeping giant. And she glanced over there and she like, yeah, I see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whole time you really looking at a petrified giant for real. But they trained you to look at it with your eyes and be like, that ain't what I think it is. And some shit you never saw before, you be like, I know it's true and I die about it. That's how they got us set up. And that's why y'all can't go to the movies, because you feel like your spirit compromised. No, not all this miscellaneous dick y'all out here taking. Not all these illegitimate children y'all out here making. That don't got your spirit compromised, but you got to walk out the movies early. Nasty work. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we really talking about? So I don't really get that part of it. I'll say this. I think as far as the religious aspect of the film and any spiritual depiction in the film, I think it was all in alignment with the film. I didn't see too much masonry going on. If you know, you know. I mean, it's gonna be in there, but I didn't see like an overwhelming amount to where it's like, oh, they putting that shit in people's heads. Overall, I just thought it was a good movie. Like, I don't really feel like it was a lot of that in there. Nothing more than what your norm gonna be. It's still Hollywood, y'all. Like, this shit is what it is. But yeah, man, I think that's it. I think that's it for my take on it. Like I said, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I'm definitely gonna check it out again in theaters one more time before it's gone, maybe a couple weeks from now, whatever. But I'll check it out one more time in theaters. And I think y'all should too. If you seeing this before you see the movie, I think you definitely should go see it. I actually feel like I didn't give away a lot of details about the film. I just gave a lot of my thoughts about the film. So this should be a clean breakdown without too many spoilers for y'all. So I hope we did a good job of tiptoeing around this shit for like 30 minutes for sure. But yeah, let's move into the question of the day.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.